Today, I want to speak from the deepest corner of the heart, a place we often hide, a place we rarely show the world, but a place that makes us who we truly are. This one is for anyone who's ever loved with their whole heart, lost in the echoes of silence, and still chose to rise stronger every single day. I miss you, my love. These 5 words can shake your soul. They carry the weight of every memory, every smile, every heartbeat that once belonged to us. They aren't just words. They are the ache of absence and the fire of love that still burns. But listen to me. Missing someone doesn't make you weak. It doesn't mean you've lost. It means you had something so beautiful, so real, that its absence feels like thunder in your chest. We live in a world that tells us to move on too quickly, like love is a song we should skip when it gets too slow. But I say, feel it. Let your heartbreak become your breakthrough. Let your longing fuel your purpose. Missing someone is proof you love deeply, and there's nothing more powerful than a heart that has known deep, soulful love. Missing someone isn't a sign of weakness. In fact, it's one of the strongest emotions we experience. When you miss someone, it means you have loved deeply, cared profoundly, and connected at a level that most people don't experience in their lifetime. Society often tells us to move on quickly from our emotions, especially the painful ones, as though they are inconveniences. We are taught that showing vulnerability, such as longing for someone, is somehow a flaw or a sign of fragility. But the truth is, missing someone is a powerful reminder of the depth of your capacity to love. We live in a world that promotes immediate gratification and constant movement. We're often told to get over it, move on, or forget them. But love doesn't work like that. It's not a switch you can flick off when you're asked to. When you miss someone, that feeling isn't a burden. It's proof of a beautiful connection you once had, something that made you feel alive, seen, and understood. Missing someone means you have let yourself fully experience a part of life that is irreplaceable, and in that sense, it makes you richer, not poorer. To miss someone means you've experienced a relationship that stirred you, one that may have shaped your journey, influenced your growth, or simply brought a light into your life. The absence of that person might create a hole, but the fact that you feel it is also a sign that you have allowed yourself to be open, to be vulnerable. Vulnerability, after all, is not weakness. It's strength. It takes strength to love without boundaries, to care without reservation, and to let someone leave a lasting mark on your soul. If you didn't feel that longing, that ache, it would mean the connection was shallow or fleeting. The depth of your feelings speaks to the sincerity and significance of the bond you shared. However, what we often forget is that this emotional experience of missing someone also carries the power to transform us. When you allow yourself to feel the absence, you're not just grieving, you're also allowing space for growth. You're acknowledging that the person meant something to you, that they contributed to the person you are today. And while their absence may initially feel like a loss, it's important to remember that it's not the end. In fact, it can be the beginning of a new chapter of self-discovery and strength. The absence of someone doesn't erase the lessons you learned, the love you experienced, or the person you became while sharing those moments together. Missing someone is a natural part of the healing process, and it's essential for understanding who you are in relation to others. It's part of building emotional resilience and emotional intelligence. When you miss someone, you may feel weak in the moment, but what's happening is actually the opposite. It's an indication that your heart is wide open, that you have allowed yourself to care deeply, and that you are capable of profound emotional connections. And even though it may hurt now, it's a testament to your ability to love and your capacity to heal. You don't miss someone unless they've had an impact on your life. They've left an imprint, and in that imprint is the strength you carry with you every day. That strength comes from the way love pushes you forward, helps you grow, and ultimately transforms you into someone even more capable of giving and receiving love. So missing someone doesn't make you weak, it makes you strong. It shows that you have lived, that you have loved, and that you are courageous enough to experience the full range of human emotions. It's easy to think of strength as something you can see, muscles, resilience in the face of adversity, or the ability to withstand hardship. But real strength comes from being able to sit with your emotions, to honor them, and to allow yourself to be human. The ability to miss someone means you've been vulnerable enough to let them in. You've given your heart fully and let someone else leave their mark on it. And there is no greater strength than that. If you find yourself missing someone, take a moment to appreciate the love you shared. Instead of viewing the pain of missing them as a weakness, see it for what it truly is, a testament to the power of the connection you experienced. It's not a failure to feel it. It's a reminder of how much love you are able to give and how much you are still capable of giving, even in their absence. And while the ache may never fully go away, it doesn't need to. It simply becomes part of your story, part of who you are, and part of what has made you stronger. Embrace it, honor it, and know that in the end you are richer for having loved and for having been loved. And that is anything but a weakness. Emotions are often seen as obstacles, something that gets in the way of productivity or progress. We've been conditioned to think that emotions like sadness, pain, and longing are things we must push aside to move forward in life. But in reality, emotions, especially the difficult ones, can become some of the most powerful fuel for growth, change, and purpose. They are not something to avoid, but something to embrace. When you learn to channel your emotions, particularly the ones that feel heavy or overwhelming, you can transform them into your greatest strengths. Take grief, for example. Losing someone, whether through death, distance, or other forms of separation, can seem like the hardest emotional experience to endure. The ache of missing someone, the longing for their presence, the uncertainty of how to fill the void they've left. These feelings can weigh you down, but what if instead of letting them paralyze you, you allow them to guide you towards something greater? What if the sadness you feel could push you to pursue your dreams, to work harder, to discover who you are when no one else is around to define you? The pain, the longing, the grief, it can drive you forward with an intensity that nothing else can replicate. It has the power to shape you, mold you into someone who is capable of more than they ever thought possible. Emotions are a reflection of our inner worlds. They tell us something important about what we value, what we care about, and where we need to focus our energy. When you feel deeply, whether it's sadness, joy, frustration, or love, you are experiencing a reaction to something that matters to you. Your emotions are a map, leading you to places in your life that need attention, healing, or growth. The key is learning to interpret them correctly. If you shut down your emotions, if you try to avoid feeling, you deny yourself the opportunity to understand what's truly important to you. Without that understanding, it's difficult to make meaningful progress in your life. There's a saying that goes, "The pain you feel today is the strength you will feel tomorrow." This couldn't be truer. Emotions like sadness, anger, and even frustration are not just negative states. They are lessons in disguise. They show you where you need to heal, where you need to grow, and where you need to shift your focus. When you experience emotional pain, it's often a sign that you're at a crossroads. It's a signal that something in your life is out of alignment. And that's okay. It doesn't mean you're weak. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It means that you're paying attention to your own internal compass and you're being brave enough to face the discomfort of growth. Look at the most successful people in the world. Often their success is born from the adversity they faced. They didn't just get there by ignoring their feelings or pretending that everything was fine. They allowed their emotions to guide them, to ignite that fire within them that propelled them to keep going even when the world seemed to be falling apart. They channeled their pain into their purpose. They used the hardship, the rejection, the loneliness, and the setbacks as stepping stones toward their ultimate goal. The beauty of embracing your emotions, especially the ones that feel uncomfortable or painful, is that they give you clarity. They bring you closer to who you really are, what you really want, and what you're truly capable of. The key to transforming emotions into fuel is not to suppress them, but to honor them. Don't judge yourself for feeling a certain way. If you're sad, don't tell yourself to snap out of it. If you're angry, don't push it aside as something that doesn't matter. Instead, take a moment to sit with those emotions. Ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to teach me? What part of me needs attention or care? It's in this space of self-reflection that true transformation happens. You learn that emotions are not your enemies, they are your allies. They are the keys to unlocking your potential and moving forward in a way that is authentic and meaningful. And what's more, when you embrace your emotions as a driving force, you inspire others to do the same. There is a strength that comes from living authentically, from being willing to be vulnerable and to share the truth of your feelings with others. When you allow your emotions to be the fuel for your journey, you create a ripple effect. You give others permission to do the same, to honor their emotions and use them to propel themselves forward. In this way, your own growth becomes a source of inspiration for others to embrace their own struggles and turn them into strengths. So instead of seeing your emotions as obstacles or weaknesses, view them as powerful motivators. They are not something to fear or run away from. They are the fire that can ignite your inner strength, pushing you toward your goals and dreams. The next time you find yourself overwhelmed by a powerful emotion, ask yourself, how can this feeling help me move forward? And then take that emotion, use it, and let it fuel your journey to greatness. Because in the end, it's your emotions that will guide you to exactly where you need to be. Love is often perceived as something that can make us weak, particularly when we open ourselves to vulnerability. There's a common belief that love is something we should guard against, fearing that it will leave us exposed or incapable of standing strong on our own. But the reality is that love doesn't make us weaker, it makes us limitless. It is not a force that diminishes our power, it enhances it. Love opens us up to new possibilities, pushes us beyond our comfort zones, and gives us the courage to pursue dreams we never thought possible. When we love, we give a part of ourselves to another. It's an act of trust, a willingness to be seen, to be accepted, and to connect on a level that is beyond the surface. Many people believe that showing love or affection makes them vulnerable, that giving love somehow diminishes their strength. But true strength is found in our ability to be vulnerable, to trust others with our hearts, and to allow ourselves to experience the full spectrum of human emotion. In fact, it's in love that we discover what we're truly capable of, because love challenges us to grow, to expand, and to push beyond our limits. Think about the most significant achievements in history. Often they are not just the product of hard work or intelligence alone. They are driven by love, the love of a cause, a person, a dream. Every great leader, every inventor, every person who has changed the world in a meaningful way has done so because love was their guiding force. They were motivated by a vision, a passion, and an unwavering belief in something greater than themselves. This love drove them to take risks, to step out of their comfort zones, and to face the challenges and obstacles that stood in their way. Love gave them the strength to persevere when others would have given up. It made them limitless in their pursuit of a goal. When we love, we are no longer confined by self-imposed limitations. Love removes the boundaries that hold us back. It breaks through the walls we've built around ourselves, and it propels us toward greater potential. It is love that inspires us to be our best selves, to strive for more than we ever thought we could achieve. It is love that gives us the courage to pursue dreams that seem impossible, because when we love something or someone deeply, we believe in it with all our heart. Love makes us feel invincible, as if anything is possible. It allows us to see beyond our own limitations and to envision a future that is brighter, bigger, and bolder than anything we could have imagined on our own. The beauty of love is that it does not take away from us. It adds to us. It fills us up with purpose, with meaning, and with direction. When we love, we are no longer walking alone. We are walking with someone or something that gives us direction, that supports us, and that pushes us to be better. Love teaches us resilience, because it is through love that we learn to overcome setbacks, to bounce back from failure, and to keep going even when the road is tough. Love helps us see the bigger picture, to keep our eyes on the prize, and to never lose sight of what matters most. Moreover, love enables us to become more empathetic and compassionate. It broadens our understanding of others and opens our hearts to those around us. It teaches us to listen, to care, and to support others in their journey, just as we expect the same in return. Love connects us to the world in a deeper way, allowing us to build relationships, communities, and networks that empower us to achieve even more. The love we give out comes back to us, often multiplied, creating a cycle of positivity and growth. It is also important to understand that love doesn't always come in the form of romantic relationships. Love for our family, our friends, our work, our passions, and even ourselves. Each form of love has the power to make us limitless, to unlock new doors of opportunity, and to help us discover talents and strengths we never knew we had. The love we have for others can ignite our own potential, just as the love we have for ourselves can push us to become the best version of who we are. In the end, love doesn't just make us capable, it makes us invincible. It allows us to transcend the limitations that life often places before us. It teaches us to be brave, to keep going when things get tough, and to reach for things we once thought were out of our grasp. Love is the most powerful force in the universe because it gives us the courage to face fear, the strength to overcome adversity, and the vision to see beyond what is right in front of us. It makes us limitless because there is no limit to what we can achieve when we are driven by love. Grief and longing are natural emotions that come with loving someone deeply, and while they can often feel overwhelming, they don't have to stop you from moving forward. In fact, they can become sources of power and resilience, allowing you to glow, grow, and achieve even when you feel like you're at your most vulnerable. The idea that you can grieve and still glow might seem contradictory at first. How can someone be in pain and still shine with strength and radiance? But the truth is, emotions like sadness and longing don't diminish your capacity for success, joy, and personal growth. Instead, they fuel it. When you experience grief, it's a reflection of the love and connection you once had. This pain isn't a weakness. It's a symbol of how much that person or that relationship meant to you. The love you shared doesn't disappear when they are no longer around. It transforms. The memories, the lessons, and the experiences you had together stay with you, and from them you can draw strength. Your grief is evidence of how deeply you felt, and that depth is something that will guide you through tough times, making you more empathetic, compassionate, and understanding. The idea of glowing while grieving is about harnessing that emotional energy for good. When we experience pain, it's often a signal that something in our life needs attention. And rather than allowing it to pull us into despair, we can use that energy to push us forward. It's not about ignoring the sadness or pretending it doesn't hurt. It's about embracing the feeling, acknowledging the grief, and still finding ways to move forward with it by your side. The truth is that every time you face a tough situation or a heartbreaking moment, you build resilience. The strength doesn't come from avoiding the pain, but from learning how to navigate through it while still holding on to hope, love, and light. In times of loss, you might feel like you're walking in a fog, unsure of where the road leads or whether you can continue. But it's important to remember that this fog will eventually lift. Grief can cloud your mind and make everything seem uncertain. But as time passes and you work through your feelings, you start to see things more clearly. Your journey through grief becomes a path to self-discovery. The hurt you feel now, the longing you experience, is not a permanent state. It's a process. And this process can help you find a deeper sense of purpose, clarity, and strength. The concept of glowing through grief is also about finding joy in the little things, even amidst sadness. It's about recognizing that life, in all its beauty and complexity, doesn't stop just because we are hurting. The world continues to turn, the sun continues to rise, and there are still moments of joy to be had. By allowing yourself to grieve, but also allowing yourself to experience happiness, you begin to heal. The glow isn't about pretending to be okay when you're not. It's about accepting that you are both grieving and growing, struggling and thriving, hurting and healing, all at the same time. When you grieve, it's easy to feel like you're stuck in one place, emotionally paralyzed by the weight of the loss. However, the human spirit is incredibly resilient. And when you allow yourself to feel and move through the pain, it opens up new opportunities for growth. Grieving doesn't mean you're incapable of joy. It simply means you're working through the emotional process of healing. As you do, you become stronger, more in tune with your emotions, and more capable of finding light even in the darkest times. This inner strength becomes part of your glow. It's the glow of someone who has faced hardship and found a way to keep moving, to keep living, and to keep loving. The process of grieving also teaches you patience. Patience with yourself and with the healing process. In a world where instant gratification is so often the expectation, grief reminds us that healing takes time. But even in that time, even in the midst of the pain, you are constantly learning, evolving, and developing the ability to embrace life again. Your glow is a reflection of your willingness to heal, to rise above the hurt, and to keep going even when things seem tough. It's in those moments of vulnerability and hurt that you discover your true strength, the strength that allows you to shine through adversity and emerge stronger on the other side. Grieving and glowing are not mutually exclusive. You can feel pain, you can miss someone deeply, and still move forward with grace, courage, and positivity. It's not about erasing the sadness. It's about making room for both the sadness and the joy. It's about allowing yourself to grieve in a way that doesn't hold you back but propels you forward. It's about acknowledging the pain but choosing not to let it define you or control you. Instead, let it fuel your journey of growth, resilience, and discovery. Your grief doesn't make you weak. It makes you beautifully human. And it's through that humanity that you find the strength to glow, even in the darkest of times.